Hello everybody! In today's video, we're going to be taking a detailed look at Bachmann's HO scale Harry and Bert from the Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends universe. Harry and Bert are twin diesels who do a lot of heavy iron hauling at the Sodor Iron Works. They work primarily with the smelters and the scrap yards, though they also spend a fair amount of time hauling at the quarry. They have other nicknames as well. Individually, they are referred to as Iron Arry and Iron Bert, and collectively as simply the Yellow Diesels. In fact, the Bachmann packaging refers to the twin diesels as Iron Arry and Iron Bert. Arry's name is actually Harry, but the pronunciation of Arry implies it's being spoken in a British accent. Currently, Harry and Bert are discontinued by the manufacturer, though you may be able to pick them up on the secondary market. Like all locomotives in the Thomas the Tank Engine universe, Harry and Bert are based on actual, real-life locomotives. As twins, they're both based on the BR Class 08 diesel locomotive. The same locomotive as Devious Diesel, minus the ladders at the front of the hood. The BR 08 Class Diesel Electric 060 locomotive was built by British Railways, among a few other manufacturers, to serve as a general-purpose shunter between 1952 and 1962, with 996 produced. Currently, there are many BR Class 08 still operating on various railroads, including many UK heritage railroads. Okay, let's take a look at Harry and Bert and then take them for a run out on the layout. Okay, because Harry and Bert are twin locomotives, we'll just do a detailed look at one of them, but we'll do a quick spin here just so that you can see them together on the platform. And Harry and Bert are identical locomotives, so it's literally the same model for both. And they don't have their names on the side or anywhere on the locomotive, so you really can't tell them apart. But each one did come in its own packaging for Harry and Bert. Okay, let's remove one of the models and we'll take a detailed look at the other. Okay, as we said in the introduction, Harry and Bert are 060 diesel electric locomotives. What makes them 060 is that they have no leading wheels. They have 6 drive wheels connected by linkage here, so 3 wheels on each side, and they have no trailing wheels. So 060. The immediate distinguishing feature for these two locomotives is the paint job. The cab, the utility boxes on the side, and then part of the front, the kind of caution tapey paint job on the front are yellow, and then the hood area is kind of an olive drab green. So it's a really nice color combination, and they and this color scheme really kind of pops on these two locomotives, I think. Working back to front, we have the hook and loop coupler. We have the buffer stem in black, and also the buffer pads are in black. We got the airline, utility hook, nice little step-up ladder here, and a couple of hand grabs on the either side of the door for the cab, and then we got a little fore window here on the cab. Now these windows aren't transparent; they kind of painted like a little foggy silver type of finish, so that they look like windows in a cab, but you really can't see in them, almost like frosted glass. As you work across, you can see the decking or the running platform here underneath is in black plastic. We got some nice ladder work here, to step up onto those. On the side of the hood, you've got this nice grill work, again with a little bit of hand-holding features molded into the plastic. And from the profile side here, you'll see it better from the front, but this kind of like caution tape or caution pattern paint job there up on the front. And then it says Sodor Iron Works right along the side in white. So yeah, just a great paint scheme, good looking locomotive. I mentioned that on both of these locomotives, the name Bert and Harry is not anywhere to be found. So you almost can't tell these two locomotives apart. I won't even say almost, you can't tell these two locomotives apart. So yeah, okay, so let's give it a spin. Okay, looking from the back, Not a great amount of detail, but you know, not bad here. Hook and loop coupler. Again, you've got your airline utility hook and your buffers, and you get the yellow paint job in the back. Those kind of frosted window kind of optical illusion there, I guess. You've got the semi-arched roof of the cab, and then you've got some bracing here, both vertical and horizontal. All right, let's give it another spin. Okay, this side of the locomotive is pretty identical to the opposite side. Again, you've got the cab features here, the door, the handholds, the door window, the fore window here, and then you've got these utility box features here on the side, and the kind of the vent work there on the side of the hood. Soda ironworks in white, and that caution pattern kind of wrapping around the front right there to the side. Ladder features. Yeah, nice. Let's continue to spin. Okay, looking at the front of the locomotive, probably the most standout feature here is that caution pattern paint job there around the front of the hood. It really kind of gives the impression that these guys are doing some pretty hazardous work, and the Soda Ironworks is probably pretty hazardous work. The next feature that stands out obviously is the face. Here you got a little 5 o'clock shadow thing going on with the face, right, kind of in a goatee pattern here, which is kind of interesting. The faces on Bert and Harry are both identical. The eyes on these Bachmann HO scale Thomas the Tank Engine Universe locomotives, they traverse back and forth as the locomotive is moving around the track. Otherwise, we just have a hook and loop coupler, buffers from the front here, buffer pads, utility hook, airline. And then as you're looking kind of straight down the locomotive here, you can see the boxes on the running platform here on both sides. And then you got a little porthole window way back there, if you can see that, with a kind of utility structure here just in front of the cab. Okay, let's look at the top and the bottom. Okay, looking at the top of the locomotive here, you can see again the caution pattern kind of wrapping up around the top of the hood there in the front. And then you've got these seams going across the top of the hood. You got a couple ones going across, and then you've got one running, connecting the 3 seams down here, running down the center. The roof is of the cab. Again, it's kind of this semi-arched roof, and there's a couple of features up here. There's a little bump up here, you know, maybe some reinforced steel up there up on the roof, and then you've got this gutter work down here on both sides. And that gutter work, presumably on a real locomotive, sheds the rainwater away from the door so that the driver doesn't get wet, of course. And then looking down from the top, you can see the top of these utility boxes on the side, here and here. So it's a nice little top view there. All right, very good. Let's take a look at the bottom. Okay, looking at the bottom of the locomotive, you can see here, in kind of from bottom, little profile view here, the hook and loop coupler, the buffers, hook. And as we move forward, you can see a little delicate spring there in the coupler. And then you can see the metal wheels, 6 metal wheels. Get a little view of the connecting arms there from below. And in the little motor box here, you've got 4 access screws there. And then there's some smaller access screws if you need to separate the running deck from the body of the locomotive for whatever service or maintenance you might want to do. And then we get the Bachmann stamping in there and the part number. So, not a ton of detail down there, but just to give you a look. All right, there you go, top and bottom. Okay, here's one final look at Harry and Bert. And we also threw diesel in there, since diesel is also a BR class 08 diesel electric locomotive. And as you can see, they're all pretty much identical to each other. The only distinguishing feature, besides the paint scheme of course, between Harry and Bert and Diesel is the face is different on Diesel, of course. And then also Diesel has these utility ladders that run up the front of the hood there, which I think is a pretty cool feature. But yeah, that's really the only difference between these three models. Let's give them a quick spin. And there you have it. There's Harry and Bert from the Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends universe. Let's go take them out on the layout for a run.